Hey guys, welcome back to Glenna's World of Coloring. Finally, I'm back. I'm very sorry about the long periods of time in between videos. Just a lot of stuff's going on, and I haven't really felt like getting to it. As stupid as that sounds, I haven't really felt motivated to do it. But finally, I'm back and I'm hoping this time it is for good. But yeah, today we are coloring in Color by Number bird stamps. This is by Sun Life Drawing. I believe I've already made a video about these, about this, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right on into it. So I do have my page ready. This is the Andean condor. Andean condor. It's something like that. So I'm just gonna, I'll stay zoomed out like that so you can see. So we will start with number twos, which is gray, and that is CG 023. If I can get a hold of it. Okay. CG 023. Come on now. Well, anyway, it's neutral gray 23. So I don't know why it doesn't want to cooperate. Let's see, twos. So two here. But how is everyone? Hopefully good. I've been doing pretty good, which I'm thankful for. It was getting rough there for a little bit, not being able to find a job. But finally I did. So it's not something that I'm really stressed out about anymore. But I'm not getting much work where it's the summertime. I don't think you guys know, but I did get a new job. I think I quit making videos before I found my job. For those of you who didn't know, I got screwed over at my last job by my boss. Um, I got let go for a really stupid reason, and I'm not gonna really talk about it much because I don't want to get mad. But yeah, she let me go at the beginning of March, and I was without work for 3 months before I found my current position, which my current position is a substitute custodian, which just means it's like a fancy term for a substitute janitor. Um, yeah, I go to different schools when one of the full times call out, and I just do their job. I clean. Um, Part of it that I haven't had to do is like waxing floors, um, It's just mostly cleaning. It's nothing that difficult. Now, I tell you what, it wears you out. I got to work 2 days when the first week that I started. I worked 2 days and I haven't gotten to work since. But I mean, school's out right now in my area, so they're not really going to need anyone to fill in because I'm sure there's not much going on right now. All right, number three. If you keep hearing a little thud noise, it's probably this mic hitting against me. So let me fix that right fast. All right, that should be better. All right, number three is dark brown, which is E342. And let me find that. E342. I see 357. There's 342 right in front of my eyeball. Okay. But yeah, I haven't gotten to do a whole lot. And this is uh E342. It's chocolate. You can't really see it, but it's chocolate. Um but yeah, I haven't gotten to work like a whole lot. And I did get to talk with my, or not my, but I got to talk with one of the other substitute janitors that I met at one of the schools that I worked with when I first started. And she said she hasn't gotten any work either, so that she's waiting on a call. I mean, I prayed for a job. I mean, for a while, I didn't think I was even gonna get the job because I never heard anything up until the week before I started. Um, so I applied probably at least 2 weeks to 2 weeks to a month before I actually got a call that they wanted me to go and do my screening and stuff like that so that I could work. The way that I took it at first was like an interview kind of thing. Um, so I went up to the board and I was like, yeah, I'm here for an interview for the substitute custodian, da da da. And she had no clue what I was talking about, um, which I get because I wasn't there for an interview. I was there for a screening, um, so that they could get me in the system so that I could work. But yeah, it's interesting. But they did call me in um, one day. It was a Thursday, and then when I got to the school, that's when she told me I would be working the next day as well. So, yeah. When they need someone, they will call, and I will be ready. Um, Honestly, I think it's the Lord above just saying, be patient, stick with this, and everything will work out. So that's what I'm going to do. I did try and attempt to get a second job just while I um wasn't able to work because they don't need anyone right now. And that went very poorly. I was like, oh, well, maybe I can go back and work at a different Dollar General. Like maybe this manager would be able to work something out with me and I'll just work two jobs. Um so I talked to her. I'd worked for her previously. Um and she wasn't bad. She wasn't bad at all. It was just her store that I hated. Her store was an absolute mess. There was stuff everywhere, nothing was in the right spot, and it drove me up the wall. Because at the other store that I was originally at, we had everything always looking good. Um, we didn't care. We wanted everything to look good. Now, the morning that, let's see, the day that I got fired, my boss had actually tried to bribe us, me and my coworker, that night. She said, if you all can run the 10 rolltainers that are left in the back, I will give you both $30. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to accept that. I'm going to do my best, the best work I can do. And that's that. See, number 4, Brown E262. But if she sees this, I hope she knows she can't do a thing about it, because I will not mention her. I will not mention the company. You know, I will never mention a boss's name or the company that I used to work for. Um, Due to them possibly retaliating against me. So yeah, I will never disclose that information, but I'll just say she, because she was a woman. Um, but yeah, she had bribed us that morning before I even came into work. I'd come in at 2, maybe 3. No, it had to be 2 because I always worked 8-hour shifts, sometimes 9-hour shifts. It might have been 1. It was 1 or 2 o'clock, and I was there by myself for 3 or 4 hours trying to get as much done as possible before he got there, my help. And I got 1.5 of the rolltainers done while I was by myself. And he came in. I was like, hey, listen, if we can get all these rolltainers done, boss said she'll give us $30 each. And I know he could have used it because he needed um, a part for his truck. And he's like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And I said, well, we're gonna try. You know, I was a lead, so they would leave me by myself a lot of the time, and it would get very annoying, honestly, because I told her one day, hey, I don't like being left by myself because I can't get as much done being by myself for 3 hours. So she started having someone be there with me. And then that lasted all about a month. And then I was right back to being by myself again. And I was like, you know what? I'll just deal with it because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Um, but yeah, we started working on everything. I was in the back, he was up front. She texts him, not me, him, and asks how much more we had. He tells her, and then she sends a text to him that says, hey, tell Glenna that she needs to uh, be on the register and you need to be in the back. Which, for someone being a lead that usually handles everything in the back of the store, that is very annoying. One of the reasons I really liked that job was because I was usually in the back of the store doing what I needed to do, and I didn't really have to deal with the register much. Usually someone else would handle it. But this woman is friends with this guy's mom. So that kind of screws me over because if he doesn't want to do something, you know, he's not going to have to do something. Now, mind you, this same guy would always be in the break room on his phone all day long. Yeah, hard work right there. And I would be the one having to work up front, not being able to get much done when he wasn't getting much done to begin with because he was in the back or in the break room. But anyway, is what it is. But like I was saying, I have to go up front, be on the register, and do all those rotainers. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. Because alone, I'd almost done 3 in the back by myself. And I'd done almost 2 in the front by myself. But yeah, later that night, a customer came in. He was buying something, and the price didn't ring up right. There was a sale on it. And the supposed cashier, which some cashier, I mean, but he comes and gets me. I'm in the back still, and he comes and gets me. He's like, "Hey, I need to go to the bathroom." Or no, that was after this. He comes and gets me, and it's not ringing up right. All right, number 510. That is 189. There it is. E189 thin persimmon. But yeah, he comes and gets me because I'm the only one there that can override the register because I am a key holder at this point. I come up. He said, or he says that it's not ringing up right. I go check the price with him, and um, I see the sale sign right on the shelf. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this stupid sign down. If it's not going to ring up, then what's the point of it being up? So I ripped the sign off of the shelf, and I go up front. I start price overriding it so that it's right. And I throw the sign away. And then eventually my help says, "Oh, well, I need to go to the bathroom." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I got it." So I'm just typing away. I'm going as quickly as I can because I need to get my work going, get my work done. And then later, a little bit later after that, my boss texts him again and said, "What's the deal with the register or the sale ads or the price something? I don't know. I don't remember exact, but he tells me what she said. And I don't think anything of it. I'm just like, well, someone came up, something didn't ring up right, and I fixed it. And that was it. And a little bit later after that, that is this is after I was told to be on register. Um, I'd come back from putting a box away, like product away on the shelf, and I noticed that the office light is on and the door is shut. And then I go in the break room to get a drink, and I noticed the key was not in the door. So I'm like, wonder what's going on. I was like, I hope everything's all right. All right. a little bit later after that, one of them come out. Her and the assistant manager were back there. And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And I didn't get an answer. I was like, okay, that's weird. Hope I didn't do anything wrong. He went back into the office and I go to put away another box. And eventually, like, I'm still putting this away. And eventually, she comes out, finds me, and tells me to come back into the office. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. I go in there and I sit down. She closes the door back behind us. And she is like, were you rude to this customer? And I watched the camera and I was like, no. I just changed the price for him and you know, da 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 da. And she's like, well, he said that you were aggressive and that you ripped the sign off the shelf and threw it in the trash in front of him. I was like, well, I mean, I took the sign down because the price wasn't ringing up, and I mean, it can look aggressive, but I was typing on the monitor very fast so that I could get done and go back to work. And she's like, well, with everything that I see here, I don't think that I can keep you any longer. And I'm like crushed. All right, number 6, peach, R194. There's 196. I need 194. There it is. But yeah, I'm crushed about it. I really enjoyed my job. And what are you gonna do? And I was like, well, I understand. Um, and I was like, well, do I get to at least finish the night out? By then, it was 9 o'clock. And she's like, no, unfortunately not. And I did. I really, really, truly enjoyed that job. But the customer that complained was a friend of hers. So, do I think it was played up? Absolutely. I don't feel like I was done very well. I was the one that always did everyone else's jobs. I was the one that always came in when someone called in. I was their scapegoat in the end. What we think at my house is that They needed to cut hours. They needed to cut some hours. And finally, they found a reason that they could get a lot more hours. I'd already had issues in the past with this. I was warned many times by people that had worked there, by people that haven't worked there but know the boss, know the store manager. I was warned a number of times. All right, number 9 is orange. YR 495. But I had my fair share of warnings and I did not listen. And now I had to pay the consequences. But the time before this, apparently, this was also necessary. I don't believe it was, because when I first heard it, I was like, yeah, they're trying to push me out of this store. But maybe they were, and they tried to play it off. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for a lot of the people that I've worked with at that store, though. All right, 16 is light blue, 191. Okay, G191 turquoise blue. I don't know if I've said every color that I've been using. Hopefully I have. But the time before that, which I was not aware of this, but apparently you cannot follow somebody out the first set of doors. I was not aware of that. And I went out the first set, but I stopped at the second set. Okay. I stopped at the second set of doors because someone was stealing and I was trying to get the items back. I wasn't trying to take them. I was just trying to ask for a receipt. He refused to give me the receipt and let me look. And he kept right on. I was like, well, if you're not going to show me a receipt, then you're not allowed to be back here, and you will be trespassed. But apparently from that incident where I went out of a set of doors, something as stupid as that, she gave me an ultimatum, my boss. She said, look, I can either cut you down to 1 day a week, or you can transfer to another store. Forced my hand, and I was like, well, I cannot do 1 day a week. I can't. I won't. So I was like, fine, transfer me then. Tell the other store manager I'll do it. Looking back at what happened right before I transferred, I don't believe it was genuine. Maybe it was. Maybe she genuinely cared. But I don't see how going through a set of doors is cause for termination. That's what she was chalking it up to be. 17 blue, B883. Where is our 883? There it is. 883 cerulean blue. I just don't know if I can believe it. I don't. I really don't. I wish I could. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that night, um, I got fired and I was not happy because I was like, you're going to take, oh, I missed a 16. You're going to go with your friend over someone that works hard and carries you. I carried that store. I truly did. And now looking at it, just the way that the shape of the store is in right now, or one of the last times that I was in it, it looked horrendous. I'm sure they don't have time to do that much anymore because they were not the ones doing all the work. I mean, I hate to say it, I really do. But I feel like I was the backbone of that store. Number 18, 956, 953, 956, 956 Sapphire. Now, I know there was a lot of good workers up there, and I know there's still a lot of good workers up there. So I hope that me being gone hasn't put too much of a strain on them. Because I was friends with every single um, every single person that worked there. One of the girls said that I was the only reason that they liked the job. Because I tried to make everyone's day better. I didn't try to be serious all the time. I didn't try to be, excuse me, quit. Could you move? What are you doing? Got the rabbit under my desk. Excuse me. Do you mind? But she's right up under there. But anyways, yeah. One of them said I was the only reason they liked the job. I had a really good relationship with another one of the girls. Even one of my family members works there. and she was not happy when I was transferred stores. She always talked about how she might as well quit. She always tried to convince me to transfer back, and finally I did, but doesn't seem like it helped me a whole lot. No, it didn't help me at all. Um, it made life a lot harder. But anyway, 20 is V289. It's 287. There's 289. V289 Mentha Piperita. But I miss it. I do. Would I work for her again? There were some good times. There was. But I don't know if the good times can cancel out all the bad that was done to me. All the wrong that was done to me. I loved the people that I worked with. But if I could start over, I would listen to all the ones that told me not to go. Because if I did, I would have still had a good job. Well, a decent job. Maybe I would have found something else. Stuff happens. I get it. But see, 21 Dark Violet B369. At the same time, 369 Lavender. At the same time, I feel like more could have been done to try to help me. Sending me to a different store was supposed to be for my own good. Was it? I have no idea. I don't know whether they just were about to cut hours and they figured they could send me somewhere else. I don't know. Magenta RV789. Let's see. 789. There it is. RV789 Vivid Reddish Purple. I'll never know whether it was all just an act or not. I already seen that acting part with a coworker that I thought was my sister, that I would have referred to as my sister, who stabbed me in the back. But anyways, enough of me yapping. Our picture is done. It looks really pretty. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm definitely glad to be back. Hopefully, I will continue posting once a week. So let's cross our fingers. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload new videos, because that's always a blast. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.